call all you have about Shin Shah. And I just want to go in on the list and talk about the Edomites, the people that rule the world right now. Because you have people that be like, oh, the Edomites, don't nobody know who they are. They don't exist no more. Well, I was just reading this article and just going over some stuff. And it's kind of like a continuation of this other video I did about the black nobility or the black aristocracy or whatever. What it's talking about Esau, who rule the world right now. That's why when you read the book of Job, it said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is it? And who else do that? Who else did that during the Renaissance era and all that stuff and started whitewashing the images and all that? Now, in the book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 42, it's talking about the chief house of Esau and the kings of Edom. And it says Esau was the father of the Edomites when you read into it. Now, I'm going to read on some more, and I just want to get to the part where it's talking about Amalek, these Amalekites. Hold on one moment, let me find it. I didn't want to pull it up in my book, I just want to pull it up so you can see it on the screen while I play this video. Oh, let me see. Hold on one minute, I'm going to get to it. Sometimes these online, like the Bible Hub and the Blue Letter Bible, would be case sensitive. Let me go into the actual Blue Letter. Okay, here you go. This is what I was looking for. It's lucky about that. I was trying to find it. Make sure I get to it on my screen. Alright, it says the book of Genesis, chapter 36. I'm going to start at verse 9. Just read down. It says, and these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, and Mount Seir, which they have Edomites actually go over to Mount Seir still to this day and take pictures and do a little different stuff like that. They say these are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Ada, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Bashemah, the wife of Esau; the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zophar, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And I'm gonna just go down because I don't want to read all the names, but the main name that you hear about still to this day, and you go down to Genesis 36 and 16, it says Duke, which, let me show you a picture. These people right here, they call themselves Dukes, right? You don't really hear no other people call themselves no Dukes. But anyway, it says Duke Korah, Duke Gatan, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came from Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adar. So, the main point I want to make, that's who's running the world right now. And what does Scripture say about Edom? Jacob have I loved, but Esau I've hated. So when people are like, oh, God is all love and all that, no, that's a nation of people on this earth that he greatly despised. And he just let them rule over us for a period of time to teach us a lesson. And now this lesson being learned, that's why you have men turning back and trying to correct their ways and, be better as far as like living and trying to keep the commandments and call them. And ultimately help wake up the elect. Because that's what it's for anyway, because most people, they're not going to understand. You can break all these scriptures down and go through the whole book, the whole roll. They ain't going to actually understand it because they're not meant to. Well, I'm going to let this video play for a little bit. I'm going to just go into some of this article. Now it says the black nobility are the oligarch families who originated from Venice, and let me see what it says. It says Genda, Italy, who in the 12th century held the privileged trading rights or monopolies. The first three, that's why when you look at the little Monopoly board game, it's a damn Rothschild on there. But it says the first three crusades from 1063 to 1163 established the power of the Venetian black nobility and solidified the power of the wealthy ruling class. The black nobility aristocracy achieved complete control over Venice in 1171. When the appointment, this is around the time when all this, when Renaissance and stuff was happening. It says when the appointment of the Doge was transferred to what was known as the Great Council, which consisted of members of the commercial aristocracy, among them the infamous de Medici family. Venice has remained in their hands ever since, but the power and influence of the Venetian black nobility extends far beyond its borders, and today is felt in every corner of the globe. Now, back to the scripture, given into the hands of the wicked. Now, say one verse. Hold on, hands of the wicked. Let me type it in real quick. Which I know some of these scriptures by heart, but I still want to pull it up just for edification's sake, because like the scriptures say, prove all things, so you got to prove this up. Now you just see it says, let me go back to it. You see it says, and today is felt in every corner of the globe, right? So when you read the scripture, okay, here we go. It's in Job 9:24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? And who do this? Who go to all these different countries and when they find statues, they break the nose off, or they break the ears off, or they just go ahead and knock the head off? Now, who go do all this different stuff? Now, let me play a little bit more part of what's up. Now, what led me to look all the way into this, because when you read the scriptures, you got the Bayah Dawadah, which is the house of David. Then you got the Bayah, um, I say Esau in the Hebrew. Oh, the Bayah Yashashua. Now you got the house of Esau, and maybe just look into it. I was like, oh, the house of wealth, and it's actually pronounced house of wealth, or house of wealth. Now it says the house of wealth are one of the original black nobility families of Venice, from which the house of Windsor, and thus the present Queen of England, Elizabeth II, descends. The Welfs are also intertwined with the German aristocracy through the house of Hanover. Almost all European royal houses originate from the house of Hanover, and thus from the house of wealth, the black nobility. Now, the main point I want to get to, and I'm going to leave this link to this article. I'm going to show it to you so you can see it. Go up to it. I'm going to leave this link in here. And see, a lot of this information, man, like the scripture say, the Lord should cause his own tongue to fall upon him. And that's what's happening, man. Because you got people bringing out this stuff and showing maps, history. Because it's the history right here. Now it says, now one of the what's the name of this article? It says European royals are all from Edom and Esau. But let other people tell they was done away with though. It says now one of the royal houses in Europe is from the lost 10 tribes of Israel, probably north from the tribe of Judah. There was a coup, and Edomites and the Khazars took power, which that always happened when you read into the history. You read the scriptures, they mention how whenever our people go off and they start fucking up, and Yahweh let these people come up in there and take over until we get back right, then we end up getting our land back. Same thing gonna go on again. It says, and Khazars took the power by killing, lies, and deceptions. You shall know themselves by their fruits, just as Herod was an Edomite. Now it says, Judaized Christianity, real lost tribes of Israel, white European people, hijacked by the Khazars, Edomites, and Ashkenazis, by the crown who pretend they are British Israelites, Rothschilds, etc. It says, made Cromwell still, and the guy that's talking shit in the article, he said, made Cromwell still burn in hell for being paid to allow themselves back into England. And this devil, he ain't being burned in no hell, because, hey, ain't no hell under the earth with Satan poking people with no pitchfork and none of that stuff. That's some Roman Catholic made up little fable they made up when Constantine was ruling over there. But it says, to do this infiltration and identity theft. And it says, and back to what I was saying about the hell doctrine. You know what's gonna happen to this damn devil that allowed him to do this? He gonna come back in slavery. That's what's gonna happen to his ass. But anyway, it says, in 1925, this year's Jewish Encyclopedia states the existence of the Ashkenazi Jews who represent each approximately of 90% of the so-called world Jewry, with the startling admission that the so-called enemy of the Jews, Esau, because you always had our people fighting with Esau, still to this day, when you go back to the story of Jacob and Esau being born, they was fighting in the womb. Still to this day, you got cops killing brown-skinned men. So that same tension been going on for decades. They also known as Edom. See, and they got Bible references, which is a good thing to have in this article, because you can't just go off your own words and emotions. You got to back it up with proof. Now it says now actually represents the Jewish race. When on page 42 of volume 5, it is stated Edom is modern Jewry. So what they're basically saying that these Ashkenazi Jews who represent 90% of the so-called Jewish population are actually the tribe Yahweh hates. And you go into, it said it in there, it's clear as day. And they got, I didn't even know it was like this, so I just clicked on it a little bit, moved the mouse over it. Now it says in Malachi chapter 1 verse 3, it says, and I hated Esau and lay his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Now you go over to Mount Seir, let me pull this up. Because the Most High hate too. You mean to tell me he created all emotions and he ain't gonna use them all? Get out of here. We'll look at Mount Seir real quick. Esau structures Petra as Mount Seir. When you look at this, Hey, you can't make this up, man. This woman. It always just never fail. Woman always want to text me when I'm making a lesson. She gotta wait though, but that's more important. But it said Esau's structure, Mount Petra is Mount Seir. So look at it, man. The scriptures don't lie, man. The Lord said He gonna lay His land in waste. Let me go back to where I was at. In Malachi 1:3, it says, "And lay His mountains and heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." That's why they always going every damn well, stealing everybody else's culture and shit, and want to do what everybody else do, because their culture ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. All it is fucking thieving, killing, raping, and all that shit. That's their culture. Now it says, reading on, it says, the king of the Jews. I'm gonna try to make this a little short, not too long like the other video I made, but hey, if it go on and the scripture gotta come out, it gonna come out. Oh, and back to this scripture right here. It says in the book of Romans, like I was mentioning, in 9:13, it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Hey, when you bring that up, you meet one of these people that go to church or whatever, they think they know something. You bring that stuff out, you see the true spirit, because they be thinking that Yahweh is all love. When you look around the earth and you ain't got nothing but chaos and death and all type of stuff going on, but he's supposed to be all love. Like, come on, that don't even make sense. Well, anyway, it says, the king of the Jews will rule the world from London, with a square mile of London city no longer belongs to the English people, but was long ago sold to the Jews. The owners, well, the Talmud states, when you go back and hear about where it's at. Go back to this real quick. When they talk about the house of Esau, when they mention Talmud. See, you can't make this up. See, they try to hide it because they know it. So in order to tell a lie, you got to know the truth, right? Now, let me go out some more. Let's see, make sure I'm looking at it right now. I might be thinking about Timnah instead of Talmud. So this is lucky if I am. Let me type it in and make sure though first before I go back to the other page. Okay. That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the Timnah. But ultimately, this goes back to damn Esau. That's what it's basically saying. It's going to go on even more. It says that the leader of the world, Jewish takeover, will be a king, meaning that there should be a male Jew, which when you read the scriptures in the book of Hebrews, it talk about Yahushua being from the tribe of Judah. It says, ascend to the throne, such like a king, within himself not only acts the senior elder, which is another prophecy that ain't been fulfilled yet, is King David being on the scene also, because people are going to be looking like, okay, we need somebody to rule too. We need somebody that we can actually see. And there's going to be a time when that actually definitely happen according to the scriptures. When you read in the book of Amos 9:11, read the book of Hosea. I want to say Zephaniah, if I'm mistaken, when they talk about Israel returning to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua and seeking their king, Malak Dawudah. Now it says, the king of the Jews, as there are no remnants of the ancient Jewish royalty, which it is, but they not gonna say that. They know exactly who is who because they got the records, man. They keep records of the lineages. That's why when you had the slave masters, they stamped certain slaves and kept tabs on certain people, and they have birth certificates and shit like that now. All that go back to slavery, so they can keep tabs on who is who. Now it says, in order to fulfill the prophecy, Jewish royalty must be reestablished, and it appears from this evidence that the current British royal family has become the vehicle of choice. That's why they call themselves dukes and all that stuff. Now, let me read on some more. See what part I was reading up. Okay, I'm gonna start this part here. It says the prophets was not for the Khazars or the Edomites or the Canaanites, which is called the Goy on the serpent seed. This is the last thing they do before the final fall. Always in the Bible history, it was like this. Many might mistakenly think and believe British and other European monarchy, ice, monarchy of the 10 tribes of Israel, British Israelism. They are not. They are imposters, identity thieves, cheaters, and liars. And that's how they got all this power, man. When you look at all this stuff they push out, the psyops they do, they create the wars and all this shit and fund the wars. They create the terrorists and pay the terrorists, and they back all this shit. And then they go, oh yeah, we gotta go to this country and go, we gotta go help these people out over here. Meanwhile, you got their own people, supposedly their own people over here in the U.S. dying, starving, homeless, unemployed, whatever the scenario may be. But they want to go run to these other countries and police the fucking world. That's Esau for you. But it says they are imposters, identity thieves, cheaters, and liars. It says when the Commonwealth of the Israelites was doing good and all the nations, the so-called colonies under their leadership, they had prospered cheaper than it's fancy did that they should do. That's the light of the nations when the Edomites and the Khazars took over after the coup and ruled for looting via the East India Company, central bank usury, and the like. It all went down, and that's why you see the stock market going up and down. The damn U.S. national debt, $1 trillion in debt, and it's probably more than that. That's just what they post on the site. Now you read on some more. It says, let me see. I'm just gonna get to some main points. Okay, here we go. This is a key point right here too. Um, Now I'm gonna start at this part right here. Let's see if we can see it on that. It said the current English royal Oldenburg family of Scandinavia, Bernadotte Wooten, are the root to many other nations' royals are Edomites. Fake Jews' spirit of Edom is called the Red Plague. Reference the same people communism city, Satanist Rabbi Karl Mordecai Marx Levy, because they like to call themselves um, either from the tribe of Judah or Benjamin or Levi, which is really Levi or lawyer in the Hebrew. And it says, and the monarchy's cousins, Baron Rothschild, Red Shield, his name mean, that's what his name mean, came from the black nobility merchants of Venice. The original family name Wealth, and the rumors were brought to power in England by the Prince of Hanover. This is, of course, not accidental. Look at the Holy Roman Empire 200 years later. Did the same dynasty put another family into power? It was Bauer, or Bowers, which is really the name of it is. The family who were to become Rothschilds. All the time, they select their puppet politicians. That's why this is the main point of this video. That's why I wanted to make this, because you always have people like, oh, fuck Trump and fuck this president and do this and all this other little silly shit. They never look into these people. These people that's behind the scenes calling the shots. The puppets, they ain't never front man. It's just somebody you look at, somebody you can actually see. The people you don't see is the one really pulling the strings. Like when you go to a show and you go on the stage or whatever, oh, you see the stage set up. You got a person on stage, but you don't see the person closing the curtains. You don't see the person pushing the pyrotechnics, using the different lights and all that shit. They behind the scenes. You don't see them, but they make it still go down though. Same thing, which I'm just using as an analogy of what they do, because it's way more grander than that. But that's what they do. It says they are selected, not elected. And you niggas be talking about why you don't vote and all this other different shit. How you gonna go vote for the damn enemy, nigga? That don't even make no sense. And they not even elected anyway. Then you have people be like, oh, well, how do you know this stuff? It's look the shit up. Like people don't never want to look up nothing. That's what the scriptures say. Blessed is he who readeth and study to show thyself approved. That's one thing that people don't like to do. Because I was guilty of when I was young. I ain't like reading. Now hey, I'm reading every damn thing. And when you read, the information is hidden right there in the plain text. But these devils, they know our people don't like to read, so they bring out all these articles, and they can't You can't be like, oh, they ain't nobody tell us. The information is out. You just got to go find it. Now, when you read on some more, it says they are selected, not elected, and all nations under their dominion. And that's who run this stuff. They say if we are doing, they got Jesus Christ on there, but we all know the name. It's Yahweh Shai. Even if you type it in on the phone or something like that, the spell check will pull it up. So there ain't no coincidence that that's in there. It says if we are doing as Yahweh Shai HaMashiach foretold as to do, know themselves by their fruits, then this people is not Israelites nor from Judah. Man, you look at these Amalekites over there, man. Hey, they say know them from their fruits, right? Man, they ain't trying to, they ain't even mentioning the elect. They ain't trying to seal no elect and rule in a righteous manner on the planet. They don't want to cause the damn wickedness. They push out this wicked ass vibration and have people in this trance and just bugged out, and they behind all this shit. But I'm just, I ain't gonna read the whole article because there's a lot of stuff on it. Like, it's a lot of valuable information on it. I'm surprised they still got it up and they ain't took it down yet because you got Esau on this anti-Semitic campaign, which is not Semitic, it's Shemitic, because you got the line of Shem, and it's not Sim. But that's what they like to call it, though. But you got them on this anti-Semitic campaign and trying to ban and take down every damn thing that's exposing these damn devils. But hey, let me go into some other scriptures because they might could take down sites and all this stuff, but they can't take down what the script say. In the book of Revelation. See. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. It says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Because our people actually are rich people. That's why even in the lower state, we carry ourselves in somewhat of a rich manner. You see how people be like all this gold, this jewelry, fancy clothes, and different cars and all type of stuff like that. Nice stuff, flashy stuff. It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. They're talking about these damn Amalekites, man. That's one of the chief houses of Esau. And you read on, it says, Book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 9, it says, behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Like that article say, they a bunch of liars and thieves. They say, behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because right now, you have people, they still be in doubt. They ain't spiritual, they just all thrown all over the place. They be like, if God love us, why he got us in these conditions? Well, hey, when you love your kid and they fucking up, you whoop his ass, don't you? Or you whoop your kid's ass. And then you show them some love again. You giving their stuff back. You have your little family time and all that shit. Be all good again. But you got to straighten them out, though. You can't just let them run around wild. And that's what our people is doing, just running around wild, worshiping idols, doing what these other nations is doing, and turning away from Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. But he going to redeem his people once again. And he going to make these damn heathens, they going to be bowing down. They going to be worshiping us. Ain't going to be none of that. You ain't going to see no Aqua running around with blonde hair and shit. Ain't gonna be no more of that shit going on. But I'm gonna end this off on this. Where's the book at? In the book of Obadiah. And this ain't happened yet. For the niggas that want to be like, oh, Esau don't exist, then you don't nobody know what the Edomites are. It says in the book of Obadiah 1 and 21 that saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's, And it says, the saints shall take, I'm going to read one more scripture, the saints shall take the kingdom. And when you hear that song about, but when the saints go marching in, when you hear that song, that's what it's talking about. Oh, how I like to be of that number. Hey, I want to be of that number. Because guess what? We're going to be able to get busy on these damn devils that's been ruling over this earth. And people act like they don't want that. Oh, can we all just get along? Everybody just be as one. And this ain't having it either. Them supposed to be the real Jews over there. What happened? Well, it's in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And it's funny that one rapper say that line in that song, forever, forever, ever. Hey, that's what's going to happen. We're going to take the kingdom and rule it forever and ever and ever. So, Lord's abundance is edifying. Call out Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Keep paying attention to the news, Shalom to the elect. Shalom to all your other teachers. The main stuff that we focus on right now is prophecies. Hey, everybody ain't gonna prophesy, but that's the main stuff that we worrying about because that's what's happening. Got the earthquakes going, the wars popping off. You seeing Esau crumble right before us, and you go, hey man, I be out in public, I see these damn Edomites. They be looking through. I be in the upbeat vibe, vibing, messing with the women and shit like that. Esau be looking through, asking for change and shit. And they ask us for the damn change. But hey, that's all prophecy, man, and it's all unfolding in these times. Not like when your grandma and them say, oh, they've been talking about this for all these years. No, it's coming to pass now. Shalom.